A whale's vagina, which reminds me, Kim Kardashian's here. She's had a lot of black men celebrating her end zone. Kim, word of advice, close your legs. You have more public beef than Kendrick and Drake.
So recently, Tom Brady's roast was, released on Netflix, right? And it almost comes like as soon as it was released on Netflix, like that same exact instant, there were people who were, screen recording some of the things that they saw during the Netflix special and then put it on to, Instagram, TikTok, like all different social media platforms. And everybody was expressing their opinions about everything that went on. Of course, people who are a part of the roast also know all of the other people who are going to be involved so that their jokes can be tailored to everyone involved, right? It's not just going to be, that they do the roast and that they go just for Tom Brady by himself. No, they're going to do like the people on the stage or whatever the case is. So this comedian in particular, Tony Hinchcliffe, he made a joke about literally everybody on the lineup that was on the stage. Okay. He went down the line with every person who was sitting on the stage and completely obliterated them. Not only did he do that to all the people on the stage, as we just heard, he also did that to Kim Kardashian, who was seated in the audience. Right. And so, he made mention. He said whale's vagina. Speaking of which, we have Kim Kardashian in the building. And, he just kind of went on and on in that kind of, reference to basically call her out for certain 3 or 4 ways that she's had, whatever the case is. Right. As soon as that clip went on social media, women were completely outraged. I mean, I saw women typing paragraph upon paragraph defending Kim Kardashian and calling this man all types of misogynistic and how terrible it was and how disgusting it was that he made this joke. And I had to bring some of the comments here because I wanted to talk about this and have a deeper conversation. But, mind you, he just made this joke and we can see this big smile of laughter on her face. This is her best friend sitting behind her. She also has a face laughing. They're laughing. It's no big deal. She looks, she nods, and she does that kind of yep. I knew I was gonna get some of those kind of jokes. Yep, this is to be expected. Yep, I understand why, people would go down that line. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna laugh it off because she in herself has already accepted the space that she is in within Hollywood. This is not news to her. This is not something that's so outrageous to her that people would say these things or make these kind of jokes. Before I get into too deep in that, let me just show you guys some of the comment section, right? And of course, all of the people who left these comments were all women. And if we look at the likes on these comments, I'm pretty sure that the higher percentage is going to be women who also like the comments within the comment section. First comment says, why is she being roasted at somebody else's roast session? I don't like this. Again, let's just talk about it. If Tony Hinchcliffe went up there and he only roasted her of all the people who were there within the event, maybe this comment would make a little bit of sense. But he literally called everyone out. He talked about Kevin Hart. He talked about every single person on the stage. In my opinion, it is very clear of the people who have seen roast before and the people who are completely new and oblivious to actually what goes on and what a roast actually entails. But of course, in my personal opinion, this is very in your feelings. I just don't understand why they would talk about her. I just don't get it. I don't understand why they would do this. I don't like this. Next comment was, this was super weird, to be honest, for men that probably wish to be with her. Let me move on. Okay, let me move on. I was going to say something, but let me move on. Next person says those weren't jokes, they meant it. And the last person within this thread said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Kardashians, but this is just wrong. Again, it shows, the levels that people are misinterpreting that, this is how roast sessions go. But also, I find it very ironic, okay, that there's all these women in the comment sections who are talking about, this is just wrong. I'm not a fan of her, but I don't understand it. This is super weird. They were saying all of these things because they look at her as this wounded woman, and women, they only unite with each other when it's against a man or when it's against men. And they're like, oh no, this is terrible. This is awful. I feel so terrible for her. I can't believe she did this. There were other people in the comment section saying, oh my gosh, I would have cried in the car. Ironically, Kim Kardashian then went on stage and made a joke about Tom Brady during the roast and said, I am not going to say if we dated or not. All I would do, instead of acknowledging if we have any dating history, is just release the tape. Did y'all hear me correctly? She said on stage, I'm not going to address any rumors that Tom Brady and I dated. The only thing that I would do is release the tape. Let me get into the next thread of messages, okay? Next thread says, roasts are one thing, but isn't it interesting the only types of jokes they always make about women? Is there ever anything else that isn't about sexual objectification? Next person said, I don't like that. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't care if we like or don't like Kim, but trying to keep her in that box and slut shaming her is not it. Next person said, the disrespect is real and distasteful, all because she prefers black men. Kim is raising beautiful black children that will inherit wealth, and that alone threatens them. She is raising black millionaires. Keep going, Kim. You're doing an amazing job. We love you. Let's start off with the comment at the top, shall we? You're saying something about it always leading to objectification. However, she went on stage and objectified herself. There are so many women in the entertainment industry. And if the likes of someone like, just for example, like Beyonce was at a roast, do you believe that those people on that stage would be making certain jokes in a certain manner to someone who carries herself in the light that she does? I mean, I don't know. Like, she on stage now and she got the booty cheeks out. She doing all types of stuff on social media. That's a whole conversation for a different day. But based off of the way that she carries herself and the respect and the esteem that she has always held within her to a high regard, people are going to look at her drastically and vastly different. For her to go on stage and use her own past as a joke, the same exact thing that she did on Saturday Night Live when Kim Kardashian had her own spiel on there, you're trying to defend somebody who used all of those things that you're complaining about as tools to elevate herself and has no problem owning it. She don't feel bad. She don't feel sad about it. She feels absolutely indifferent. When the same person that was on stage, when Tom Brady was on stage and he made a joke about Kanye West, Kim Kardashian did not laugh. Okay, she didn't laugh. She kind of made a serious face, like, "Come on now, you know, I don't like that." When they made this joke about her, she was hee ha ha and rolling all over the place. It should show you how she, in turn, feels about it. The next person said, I don't care if we like her or not, but trying to keep her in that box and slut shaming her is not it. Again, she's the one who went on stage and owned that entire thing. She's not a fool. She's understanding that whenever she steps into these waters, the things that people could possibly say about her, the certain jokes that people are going to come up with, she's absolutely well aware of that. She went anyway. As a matter of fact, when she went on stage and she was booed, she even understood that too. She was like, all right, guys. All right. I get it. Okay, cool. Calm down. Calm down. Everybody calm down. This last comment is what really got me when, it was this woman. I'm going to assume that the person who wrote this comment is black, a black woman. And the reason why I'm going to say that is obviously because of how detailed that she's going in, about, black and threaten them and this and all that kind of stuff. First of all, my question is threaten who? Okay. First of all, my question is threaten who? In my personal opinion, you're talking about, it's because she has these black men that she's raising and this and that. But in my personal opinion, it's more about her proximity to blackness that she uses in her realm of being able to be, the girl's girl in every aspect, more than it is about her raising these children. Because y'all were the ones who were just mad about the NFL draft. And now you're here back again saying, the only reason why these people are upset with her is because of her children. But y'all were the same one complaining that she takes the men. Make it make sense, because it doesn't. But once you make even something as simple as a joke during a roast session about a woman, here comes the people talking about the patriarchy, misogynistic, and all these different words, tactics, and things that they like to use to fuel the separation between the two. There was very much, objectification jokes about even Kevin Hart. There were certain innuendos that were left in the joke about Kevin Hart and The Rock, about like all kinds of different stuff. Nobody was outraged. Nobody said anything. Nobody cared. And again, because it's against another man, it means nothing. Y'all don't have that same energy. The same person made a million jokes. And this is the joke that you're outraged. I saw somebody else even leave a comment and says, this is terrible. Imagine when her children grow up and they see these kind of jokes being made about her. They're not going to like it. Imagine when these people see how these people are talking about their mother. Oh, they're going to grow up with a vengeance. So you think that it is worse that these children are going to grow up and see what other people were joking about instead of getting to the root of the joke? You're more worried about the fun that people are making of her rather than the reason why they're making fun of her? Have we all forgotten her rise to fame? I'm so confused. She hasn't forgotten about it. Hence why she always alludes to those jokes. Again, because she understands her place. And she understood using what she got to get what she want. There was no happenstance. There was no confusion. What other women don't want is for other men to be able to call them out on their behaviors. So when they see a man calling a woman out for certain behaviors or labeling her from her past, they get a little nervous. Because what they don't want, they want to be able to go ahead and be their 3 or 4 selves, go through their 3 or 4 phase, be free as a bird, do whatever it is that they want to do, and, be able to move forward, and nobody will talk about it ever again. So when they see that, yes, the reputation that you initiated and that you started out with, people will always have that in their minds or have that somewhere in their thought process about you, they get really upset about that. Because I should be able to do whatever it is that I want and then, turn around and lead a different lifestyle, which there's nothing wrong with growth. I support growth. I appreciate growth. I think that if you are the same person who you were when you were young, that you are when you were a grown woman, that don't make no sense to me. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to look back at the things you did and say, oh my gosh, that was so crazy. That was wild. That was foolish. However, your reputation is a thing where people will still see you and associate the things that you did. Even though you evolved, they will still associate you to certain things in a certain way. So instead of the younger girls looking at protecting their reputation and also trying to align themselves in the best way possible so that they have maybe less things to try to heal from or that they're going to have to go to therapy for, instead of their focus being on trying to align themselves in doing things in a certain or particular manner, they want to go buck wild and deal with all that later. But again, you're not supposed to bring it up. This is the real problem that they have. This is why it doesn't sit right with them. And then, one of the girls who was saying, oh yeah, this is weird. A joke coming from him like that, where he probably wish he could be with her. Contrary to popular belief, once again, something that a lot of women do not understand, the desire to sleep with somebody and the desire to actually be in a relationship with somebody are two different things. They're two very different things. And also, in that same vein, a lot of women don't understand that just because women praise a certain woman for her looks, for her image, for her beauty, or for whatever it is that she has, does not mean that other men view that same woman the same way, especially when they're in close proximity with one another. Believe it or not. Just because she is that girl to you does not mean that she is that girl to all the men outside. They might look at her as attractive, but that does not mean that they want to wife her or be in a relationship with her. Sleep with is a whole different ballgame. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.